The autopsy report that just dropped in the D4vd case has added fuel to what's already one of the most disturbing celebrity murder cases in recent memory. According to reports, the details are so damaging that his own lawyer walked out of the courtroom, and now it's starting to look like he might be dropping the case. With tensions hitting a breaking point and the courtroom reacting instantly, the biggest question now is simple. What exactly was revealed, and how bad is it? I've got all the information. Let's start from the beginning. On September 8, 2025, police were called to a Hollywood tow yard over reports of a foul smell. Celeste Rivas Hernandez's remains were found in D4vd's apparently abandoned Tesla after the car had been towed from the Hollywood Hills. Police searching the vehicle found a cadaver bag covered in bugs, with Rivas Hernandez's head and torso inside. A second bag containing her arms and legs was found underneath the first, according to court documents. The car was impounded after someone reported it was abandoned in the Hollywood Hills, where neighbors say it had been parked for more than a month. Prosecutors state the 2023 Tesla Model Y was registered to D4vd at a Texas address tied to his family. At the time this happened, the singer's world tour was in Minneapolis at the time of the discovery, with a stop in Kansas City the next day. When news first broke of a body found in the car registered to him, D4vd performed in Minneapolis the following day. He did not address the situation publicly. On September 16th, the remains were identified as Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and then the connection started forming. A tattoo reading "shh" was found on the inside of her right index finger, similar to a tattoo D4vd has on his finger. Investigators said Rivas Hernandez was missing 2 fingers when her remains were discovered. The investigator also stated that Rivas Hernandez's left eye was not present. On September 19th, D4vd canceled the remaining dates of his U.S. tour. Amid the escalating investigation, police executed a search warrant at a Hollywood Hills home where D4vd had been staying. Detectives were observed removing a computer and other items. The question on everyone's mind was simple. How did the body of a 14-year-old girl end up in this man's car? And for months, 7 months to be exact, no arrest was made. No charges were filed. The investigation crawled along, or at least that's what it looked like on the outside. But behind the scenes, things were moving, and they were moving in directions nobody expected. D4vd was identified in court documents as a target of a grand jury investigation. The prosecution confirmed that witness testimony had been presented to 3 separate grand juries, whose existence was confirmed publicly for the first time. His relatives had resisted efforts to subpoena them to the grand jury. According to court filings, a Texas judge ordered them to attend. Burke's friend, influencer Neil Langston, was arrested in Montana and returned to Los Angeles after failing to appear as a grand jury witness. Langston was released on $60,000 bail and reportedly appeared before the grand jury in early February. All the while, D4vd was walking free until April 16, 2026. To understand how this story got here, you have to understand who D4vd was. Before any of this happened, David Anthony Burke was born on March 28, 2005 in Queens, New York City. His family later moved to Houston, Texas. After 7th grade, he was homeschooled. As a child, he played the piano and sang in a church choir. His entry into the music world was, in many ways, a modern internet fable. Burke began his music career by uploading Fortnite gaming montages. To avoid copyright issues, he started creating original music, blending lo-fi pop, R&B, and indie rock. He wasn't even trying to become a recording artist. He was trying to become a professional Fortnite player. Music, in his own words, just fell into his lap. He started recording on BandLab, a free music production app. In his sister's closet, he uploaded songs to SoundCloud. He released the single Romantic Homicide on July 20, 2022, following TikTok snippets of it going viral. That song changed everything. The song was released independently through DistroKid and became a worldwide commercial success, reaching the top 40 in Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia, and New Zealand. His songs have hundreds of millions of streams on Spotify, with Romantic Homicide alone boasting over 1.6 billion. The industry noticed D4vd's music career got a massive boost in September 2022 when he signed with Interscope Records. At just 17, he is believed to have received a $500,000 signing bonus. The contract guaranteed $3 million for an EP, according to TMZ. From there, the trajectory was nothing short of extraordinary. He embarked on his first tour, the Petals to Thorns tour in 2023 and was tapped as the opening act for SZA's SOS tour. He collaborated with artists like Kali Uchis and Laufey. He released songs for the soundtrack for the Prime Video series Invincible and Arcane. In 2025, he released his debut studio album, Withered, which peaked at number 13 on the US Billboard 200. He performed at Coachella for the first time. By November 2025, Burke had accumulated 3.6 million TikTok followers. A kid from Houston who recorded on his phone in a closet had become one of the most streamed Gen Z artists in the world. But according to prosecutors, something far more sinister was happening behind the music. Something that, if true, would make this rise one of the most chilling stories in modern entertainment history. Because according to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office, investigators believe the sexual abuse of Celeste began on or around September 7, 2023, the teen's 13th birthday. That was just 1 year after D4vd's signed his record deal. Celeste Abigail Rivas Hernandez was a 14-year-old girl from Lake Elsinore, California, born to parents who immigrated from El Salvador. She was reported missing 3 times in the final year of her life. She was a 7th grader, a child described by her parents as someone who loved to sing and dance. The girl's parents, Jesus Rivas and Mercedes Martinez, made their first public statement in the case, calling their daughter a beautiful, strong girl who loved to sing and dance. The details that have emerged about how Celeste and D4vd allegedly crossed paths are deeply troubling. Rivas was allegedly a member of Burke's official server in the messaging app Discord as early as 2022. Other users on that server referred to a user with the name Celeste as Burke's girlfriend. While it remains unclear exactly how D4vd and Celeste met, online sleuths believe she was active in the musician's Discord for months before the abuse began. The pair had appeared together on a Twitch stream in January 2024, and D4vd had been photographed blocks from the girl's home in Lake Elsinore, sometime between January and March 2024. In early February 2024, D4vd took to TikTok to post about having a Valentine, one of the first times he mentioned his girlfriend on social media. The TikTok coincides with one of the first missing person reports filed for Celeste Rivas Hernandez. She was reported missing 3 times between February and April 2024, culminating in a final missing person report to police on April 5th of that year. The girl remained alive for at least a year after being reported missing, though it is unclear where she was staying or who was aware of her location. Rivas's mother stated that her daughter had a boyfriend named David, and Rivas and Burke had matching tattoos. Rivas's brother told KNBC that she went missing after Burke picked her up in his car. Sources reported that she resided in a rental property with Burke and met him through the internet. Someone from the community even raised the alarm directly. A person concerned about her well-being sent an email to an address bearing D4vd's name on his record company's domain, referencing Rivas's disappearance and saying there's been talk that D4vd had something to do with it, writing, "Please do the right thing and take her home." Rivas returned home within days of that email being sent. Rivas was reported missing a second time around March 19th. And then the final report, April 5, 2024. This time, Celeste did not come home. Surveillance footage and digital evidence revealed that Rivas was alive in September 2024 and January 2025. A private investigator hired by the property owner said he uncovered a digital camera inside the house that contained photos of both Rivas and D4vd taken in late December 2024 and early January 2025. While some friends believed Rivas was 19, investigations identified her as a missing juvenile who ran away in April 2024. That a 13 and then 14-year-old girl could vanish from her family, allegedly live with one of the most visible young artists in music, appear in photographs and on live streams, and still remain undetected by authorities for over a year. That is the aspect of this case that has haunted families, advocates, and investigators alike. On April 16, 2026, Burke was arrested by the LAPD at a house on Marmon Avenue on suspicion of the murder of Rivas. The 21-year-old D4vd was charged with first-degree murder, lewd and lascivious acts with a person under 14, and mutilating a body. LA County District Attorney Nathan Hawkman stated the case includes special circumstances of lying in wait and financial gain, alleging Burke killed Rivas to protect his music career. Prosecutors indicated they will consider seeking the death penalty. Da Hochman said Burke killed Celeste when she threatened to expose his criminal conduct and devastate his musical career. The prosecution further alleges D4vd had an ongoing sexual relationship with Celeste when she was under 14, and that after she threatened to expose him, he invited her to his Hollywood Hills residence on April 23, 2025, where she was killed. Prosecutors believe Celeste Rivas Hernandez's body was mutilated on May 5. Prosecutors allege that Rivas Hernandez's body sat for over 4 months inside the vehicle before it was reported abandoned and towed. 2 days after prosecutors say Celeste was killed, D4vd shared excited posts on social media surrounding the release of his debut album. His debut full-length album, Withered, was released 1 year ago. 2 days after the date, prosecutors estimate that Rivas Hernandez was killed. Singer D4vd pleaded not guilty Monday to a murder charge in the death of a 14-year-old girl who was last known to be alive nearly a year ago, and whose dismembered and decomposed body was found in the entertainer's apparently abandoned Tesla. Then on Wednesday, April 22nd, the autopsy report was unsealed. The autopsy report, which had previously been sealed by a judge, was finally released, revealing that Celeste died from multiple penetrating injuries. Celeste's arms and legs had been severed, and blue plastic fragments were embedded in the cut surfaces and submitted into evidence. Investigators did not determine how she got the wounds, and no weapon was recovered. And then came Thursday, April 23, 2026, exactly 1 year to the day that prosecutors say Celeste was last seen alive. Lawyers for singer D4vd insisted Thursday on forcing prosecutors to show what evidence they have, and a judge set a hearing for next week for them to lay it out publicly. In the killing and dismemberment of Celeste Rivas Hernandez, during the court hearing Thursday, Los Angeles County Deputy District Attorney Beth Silverman said evidence against the singer includes a significant amount of child pornography on Burke's iPhone, a wiretap, and up to 40 terabytes of data obtained by various law enforcement agencies. The digitization and transfer of that evidence, which includes police documents, sheriff's department data, body-worn camera videos, forensic reports, vehicle reports and images, and chemical processing, was discussed in court. Burke allegedly has 8 terabytes of data on an iCloud storage account, while prosecutors have only been able to download 1 terabyte so far. That revelation, child sexual abuse material found on his phone, a wiretap, terabytes of data, was the thing that just dropped. It sent shockwaves through the courtroom. It is the kind of evidence that, if proven authentic and connected to the victim, fundamentally alters the trajectory of a trial. So what is D4vd's defense doing? And why are they making the choices they're making? This is where it gets particularly fascinating from a legal standpoint. Blair Burke is a partner at Burke Brettler LLP, based in West Hollywood. She is one of Hollywood's most well-known and respected criminal defense attorneys. She was hired by Harvey Weinstein in 2017 and represented Lindsay Lohan following her DUI charges in 2007. She has also represented Mel Gibson, Britney Spears, and Kanye West. Blair Burke said after the singer's arraignment, "The actual evidence in this case will show that David Burke did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and he was not the cause of her death." That statement is striking because of what it doesn't say. It doesn't deny that Celeste was found in D4vd's car. It doesn't deny a relationship. It says he did not murder her and was not the cause of her death. The implication, the space between those words, has left legal observers speculating about what the defense strategy could actually be. Are they going to argue someone else killed Celeste? That her death was accidental? The defense has not elaborated, but the bigger strategic move has confused everyone. In a rare move, the singer is exercising his right in California to have the preliminary evidence hearing within 10 court days of his arraignment. Nearly all defendants waived their right to have it happen that fast, but he didn't. It is not entirely clear why his lawyers are pursuing the strategy. Burke said in court previously that with all the secret evidence gathered in the case, they simply want it seen. Burke told the judge that after media reports of months of secret grand jury proceedings, she would like a public preliminary hearing to take place as soon as possible, so a judge can decide whether there is enough evidence for trial. D4vd's legal team, led by prominent defense attorney Blair Burke, raised concerns that prosecutors had not yet turned over key evidence necessary to prepare for the upcoming preliminary hearing. The defense pressed for either immediate disclosure or a delay in proceedings. Silverman said the grand juries, which have subpoena power, were called only for investigative reasons. Defense attorneys and court observers have questioned why no grand jury indictment was issued against Burke before his arrest. That is a significant point. 3 separate grand juries were convened. None of them returned an indictment. The prosecution instead chose to file a criminal complaint. For a case of this magnitude, with allegations of first-degree murder, special circumstances, and the potential death penalty, that is unusual, and the defense clearly wants to exploit that gap. They want the public to see the evidence, and seemingly are betting that when the evidence is laid bare, it won't hold up, the way the public has been led to believe. Judge Charlene F. Olmedo set the 4 to 5 day preliminary evidentiary hearing to start May 1. She will determine whether there is probable cause to send Burke to trial. Meanwhile, the fallout from D4vd's career has been total. The Associated Press confirmed that D4vd was dropped by Interscope last year. Singer-songwriter Kali Uchis pulled the song collaboration Crashing from streaming services and stated that Burke is not my friend. Icelandic singer-songwriter Laufey pulled the song This Is How It Feels from streaming services. Following Burke's arrest, Australian singer The Kid Laroi removed his song The Line, featuring Burke from his 2023 album. Attorney Kent Schaefer, representing Burke's family, sent the following statement. The Burkes are not surprised but are terribly disappointed that the district attorney chose to charge David. The courtroom on May 1st is where this story takes its next turn. The prosecution says they have 40 terabytes of evidence. The defense says they want every bite of it made public. One side is confident that the evidence speaks for itself. The other side is betting the house that it doesn't, when prosecutors dropped the child pornography allegation inside the courtroom. When the autopsy details went public, when the full scope of the digital forensic evidence became known, that is what changed the atmosphere in that courtroom. That is what just dropped. And with D4vd's lawyers pushing for an expedited preliminary hearing, while also raising questions about whether the prosecution's evidence is as strong as it appears, the legal chess match that will unfold over the next week could define this case entirely. Today has been exactly 1 year since the death of Celeste, the prosecutor said. We're eager to set this case for trial. Celeste Rivas Hernandez was 14 years old. She loved to sing and dance. She had her whole life ahead of her. And right now, a courtroom in Los Angeles is trying to determine exactly what happened to her and who is responsible. May 1 is when we'll start to get those answers.